Thank you for joining us today on the Unconditional Podcast with my guest, Madeleine Costa with Succeeding Small. Here we empower entrepreneurs to overcome trauma, to become set in their true identity, and to keep healthy boundaries in life. We do all this by sharing real and raw stories and expert secrets as entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Rabbi Michael Schoening. Our first sponsor is Planet Duct, Southern Colorado's best air duct cleaning company. They even clean my home's air ducts and dryer vents. So I actually hire them personally, and they're amazing. They're also certified by the National Air Duct Cleaners Association. When it comes to your family's lung health, hire the best. Check them out today at planetduct.com. Madeleine, it's good to see you.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
It is so good to see you again, and it's good to have you on this podcast. I know you have a podcast as well, and I love that we could work together on that. And that's what I feel like Colorado Springs does really well is people, work together on different projects and lift each other up, So tell us what projects have been keeping you busy lately?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. Well, on top of my company, which I'm excited to share more about, I've got a 1-year-old daughter who is running all over the place. So she keeps me on my toes. And so I joked that I have spent so much energy keeping so many things alive this year. It's not even funny.
Literally.
So my agency is, my passion. I love doing what I do. I've got 8 incredible team members and an internship program that I run. So I get to mentor some students here and there. So between all of that keeps me busy for sure.
I love it. That's awesome. I know that you help a lot of people, and I, follow your social media, and I see that, you did something recently. You're like, I don't choose favorites, but small businesses are my favorite. Something like that. It was hilarious. I absolutely loved it. I feel like a lot of people don't want to work with small businesses for some reason. What do you think it is that people just don't like?
Yeah, well, small businesses, I think when it comes down to serving them as an audience, it usually comes with the assumption of I have to sell my services really, really cheap to small businesses because they can't afford it. I think that's an assumption that a lot of people make. And so people often, just assume that small businesses can't afford them. Therefore, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to talk to them. They don't want to serve them or anything like that. So it becomes so excluding of this community where they can't find help. They can't find anybody to consult with them. They can't get the assistance that they need. They can't pay for the services they want, even though they may find the value in what you have to offer. So it just becomes this stigma, I think, on the small business community and just, exiles them and prevents people from getting the help that they need.
Absolutely. And what exactly do you do for small businesses in our community?
Yes. So as a digital marketing agency, I talk about getting small businesses the visibility they deserve. And I do that and I'm passionate about that because my whole family are small business owners and entrepreneurs. So I grew up in that world. So I knew what it meant to, when you make a sale as a small business, that's food on the table.
Yeah.
It means that you get to take a vacation with your whole family. It means that you get to spend time with your kids. I saw the direct impact that entrepreneurship has and what happens when a small business can be successful. So I get to do that through things like search engine optimization, website design and development, social media marketing, paid ads, and so much more. So
that's awesome. I would guess that working with small businesses, you also may come across, I don't want to say this in a negative way, but like a small business mindset. When we talk about Colorado Springs, I absolutely love Colorado Springs. I didn't grow up here. I've been here now 7 years, if you can believe it. Moved here 7 years ago. And it's a whole, like my family has been here for 5 generations. And I've got some record of my family being here for almost 2,000 years between Las Lunas, New Mexico and Boulder. So I've got a long family history here. I felt like I came home, to be honest. But I have noticed about Colorado Springs, there is a small town mindset, a small business mindset. And I ask people like, well, don't you want to be a big corporation? Don't you want a franchise? And people are like, no, that's impossible. Like there's no way. I don't want to be like those guys,
Mhm.
or I'm just some big manager and I never show up in my business and this and that. And they have this really negative view. Actually, it's not even a negative view of being a big business. There's a negative view of being successful. So how
Mhm.
your name is Succeeding Small. So how do you teach people to succeed when they have a small mindset?
Yeah, I think I can go in so many different directions with that, with
Please
my
do.
name choice in
We can
particular.
do 10 different shows. It's fine.
Oh, yes. So we can put this on the docket for the things we don't get to. But
One of 10.
yes, with my name in particular, people joke with me and they're like, succeeding small, who wants to do that? I want to
Yeah, yeah.
succeed large, or, something like that. So they'll play on my name and stuff like that. But I chose it in particular because there's something so special about being a small business. And
Mm,
people choose to start businesses because they want to do better than the competition. They want to serve people better.
yeah.
They want to bring that family element to taking care of their customers and
Mm,
being that, small connected presence. And just because you're a small business does not mean that that has to cap your success. That doesn't mean that you have to make a small income or you have to have a small team or,
yeah.
live a small life. It means that you get to succeed in whatever definition that means for you. So you get to create the kind of life you want and provide and deliver the kind of services and products that your community is asking for. So
Mm.
success is interpretive. However, I think there's something special and precious about being small. It just means something.
I like that. So it's not about the size of the company as much as the intimate relationship with the customer then.
Yes. And the passion for why you do what you do. It's the intimate connection to your business and your purpose and your heart and your community and your customers. That's what makes small businesses so special and stand apart from the corporate competition that we're up
Yeah,
against.
absolutely. I worked for one of the largest corporations on the planet,
Mm.
and I was there 5 years, and I was written up for keeping Passover, which is one of our central holidays. And I realized that, they kept preaching, well, we really care about work-life balance. And then I realized that was made up.
Yeah.
Like, no, that wasn't it. And I realized that's not a real thing. It's work-life boundaries. And if I allow corporations to set those boundaries, I'm going to lose. My family's going to lose. My faith is going to lose. So I had to create those boundaries. And it was interesting because I felt at first like it was a mental or an entrepreneurial step backwards. Well, I'm okay. So I strictly don't work Friday night to Saturday night. I don't work on Jewish holidays. And now I'm like not answering business calls like during dates with my wife, time with my kids. And I got to this point, I'm like, well, isn't everything about like 10xing, making it bigger? Like Kevin O'Leary just put something on Instagram. He's like a true entrepreneur, works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 times a day a year. And I just had a typo on there. I was like, no, I don't want
Mhm.
that. There's no balance. There's no boundaries. There's no quality of life. And he makes a lot of money, but I'd rather make less money and have more quality of life. So
Yeah.
I guess succeeding small for me could mean a successful life. Um, and I guess the small part for me is those boundaries.
Yeah.
With Unconditional, we really tell people it's okay to bring the humanity back into your business. It's okay to be human and need time off and everything. So let me ask, Madeleine. So you came from a family of entrepreneurs,
Yes.
and you was there anything that you learned growing up that you had to uncondition, you had to actually unlearn so that you could become more successful?
You know, I talking about setting those boundaries
Mhm.
and we start these businesses to give us the kind of lives that we want.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I've taken with me. So maybe something that I haven't quite unconditioned, but something that I've taken from my experience and has become a
Yeah.
condition for my own life. And it's that, we started these businesses for a reason. Not only do we love what we do, but we wanted to, spend time with our kids and be able to, turn work off and go on a trip. I grew up every summer. We take the whole month of July off to go and travel because
Awesome.
that's why they started a business. My parents did, is to allow us the freedom and, to do that. So now in my own business, setting boundaries like that and expectations for I created this business to not only serve my community, but to serve me as well. And I want to be able to play with my daughter at, 1 p.m. And I want to be able to, take a maternity leave or take a vacation and just not, answer my phone. And that's going to be okay. So I worked really hard to build that kind of business to allow me that kind of life. But it's been a challenge setting those boundaries, especially with clients, and team members who may not respect those or may not have those same boundaries for themselves. So it's been an interesting culture trying to build boundaries around my business and continue to deliver the same quality of service with a boundary. It's possible. It exists. So
I don't know, like when you said my family took the whole month of July off, like how many people in this country do that? And I'm not saying how many people get to do that, because your parents obviously built that into your guys' life. They built that and they worked towards that. So it's not about a get to or don't get to. I think a lot of people say, well, I don't get to take vacations because I'm so busy.
Yes.
You choose not to take vacations. You choose to be busy. I think one thing I've learned in the last year is that there's busy and then there's productive. I've been very busy for a very long time and not as productive as I wanted to be. Now I'm way less busy and way more productive. It's awesome. It's just focused. If something in my life is not serving my identity, then I just cut it out. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Love you, bye. And then sometimes it's just a video game on my phone or something, right? Like, oh, but I use it to de-stress. Well, I also de-stress on the treadmill, which is serving two purposes at the same time. Actually, it's serving a lot more than just two purposes at the same time. So instead of a video game on my phone, and to be honest, I can play the stupid video game on my phone while I'm running on the treadmill, whatever. So, so it's like there's different ways, right? There's different things we can do. I used to watch every night. I have a 111-inch TV screen. It's surround sound, 12-seat theater room upstairs. I love it. One of the kids up there right now playing PS5, and it's like when you can play video games on a massive screen or have people over, like I love it, have snacks. But I was watching a movie or watching a show every single night. And I love that closeness with my family and that relaxing time. But at the end of the day, I'm like, if you feel weird not watching a movie or a show every night, then that's an addiction. I had to get out of that. But the taking all of July off, I think a lot of people may have been shocked to hear that. For you, it's super normal, right? Do you still do that?
Yep, we still do that. We went to Cape Cod this summer. So, yep, still do it, even though we're all adults and most of us are married and have significant others. So, yeah, we still do it. It's fun.
In Colorado, I think I want to do that in January. Like, I don't want to be here. It's either like January, February.
Yeah.
January, February is like, I don't want to be here.
So I just did a podcast episode about this, but I was able to take five vacations this year alone. And it's because I worked incredibly hard to make it happen, because that's the kind of, life and business that I wanted to build for myself and my customers and my family. So I put in the systems in place and now have been able to achieve something amazing out of that, to kind of create and build this life that I want. So, and then my daughter gets to grow up and she can say the same things of like, I got to spend genuine quality time with my mom and my dad. And so, and then she can still look back and see, how much Succeeding Small meant to me as a business, and, how passionate I am about work, and that we can have both things. We can have work and family. We can integrate and blend them together.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. That's really powerful. So with your clients, I know you've got a lot of different clients that you're really working with, and you're doing websites and all these different things for people, and really getting them seen, getting the, in the marketplace or online. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've come across with people?
So challenges in terms of the marketing strategy behind it or mindset?
I would say like the mindset of, because I would think that the average entrepreneur like myself, thinks that we know a lot about SEO and a lot about digital marketing and social media marketing, and we really don't. We really don't. We just watched a YouTube video once or Googled SEO to see what it stood for.
Yeah.
So, like, I would guess that you're trying to express a service and a product to customers who think they know that they're doing good with what they're doing. Like, how do you overcome that challenge?
Definitely. Yeah. So one of the biggest things to communicate and kind of expectations to set is that it takes time. Takes more time than you would think. And that's because we are speaking to machines. We're talking to algorithms behind Google, behind Facebook, behind Instagram. So setting that expectation and talking through that of like, it does take time to, get the kind of return on investment that we want. But when it comes down to people's perceptions about marketing, especially small businesses, the first thing that small businesses go to is, well, I need to be on social media, right? Like that's going to be enough. I'm going to get found on social media. And in fact, like, while you can, and there are ways to do it, sometimes social media isn't for everybody. And you have to work really hard to get around that algorithm to get that visibility on places like Facebook. So maybe another strategy could benefit you more. Maybe SEO is going to serve you better. Or maybe you have marketing out there in the world, but your website isn't up to par. Maybe it doesn't have a call to action that actually, requests something of your users when they land on your site. Maybe it's not mobile optimized. Maybe it hasn't been updated in 20 years. So why should somebody buy from you, even though you invest so much in marketing, if they don't know what they're going to get because your website's outdated? So things like that, I have to take into consideration the whole big picture and be able to create custom strategies for people.
I've seen a lot of websites that are just like an entire novel of this is the history of the company. At a certain point, I'm like, that's wonderful. What product do you have? How much does it cost? And how quick can I get it? And really what I'm looking for is results. And I think that maybe that was an old school thing. Like, I don't trust your company until I see the picture of the owner and where you were born and how many years you've been in business and all your certifications and everything. And those things are important things, but like, I want the result. Like, I want my carpet to be clean, or I want my sprinkler system to be working so my grass isn't dead. Like, I'm looking for results, And so I don't know. I feel like websites should be simple, but I'm not a website guy.
Yeah. Well, I think the bigger question is, what problem do you solve? What problem do you solve for me? Why am I here? How can you help me? That's what people want out of your website and your marketing. Is like, how can you benefit me? Like, I don't care about you until I care about you.
Yes.
So
it sounds crazy, but I heard this many times. People don't care about what you do unless you do something for them. And I made a video recently. I put it on YouTube on my channel here, an Unconditional channel. It's got, I don't know, 2,000 views or whatever right now, or 1.7, whatever. I just said, people don't care about your product. They care about the results your product gets them. I had so many thumbs down and like somebody said, nobody cares about your video channel. Like, nobody cares about your YouTube, obviously. And I'm just like, that is somebody who has a lot of pride in their product, which is good. But like, what results do you give me? If I'm going to give you my hard-earned money, like, it better be something that benefits me. It has to have value. And I think all of us, with whatever product or service we have, oh my gosh, we're almost out of time, is value. Madeleine, I'm sorry, we're out of time. I got to go to this. We got our sponsors here, but I want you on the show again if you're willing. I think you have a lot of pro tips you can share with people, and I would love to give you that platform to be able to share with the Unconditional tribe.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime. So thank you guys for watching, subscribing, and following, and all those things for the Unconditional Podcast. Our second sponsorship is an Elite Mastermind for men called Unshakable. We have a lot of things out there for men, but we want to train men to be real men, not evil authoritarians in their house, and not just because I said so type men, but men who have honor and respect for themselves first. and understand. So about when it comes to business, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to everything in life about being a guy, that's what this is for. So check it out at sleek.bio/unshakable to become an unshakable man in your life. And of course, we have Planet Duct, Colorado, Southern Colorado's best duct cleaning company. We also have Garage Fitness. You can see them right on the little right there, garagefitnesspa.com, and you can receive amazing and powerful fitness coaching from anywhere in the world with Gordon Bradecki. Madeleine, thank you so much for being on, and I'm excited. We're going to share the tar out of this podcast, and I want to see you again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Any last words for our watchers here, our listeners?
Yeah. I have, like I mentioned, I've got a podcast, the Succeeding Small Podcast. I share tons of great action-oriented episodes about SEO, digital marketing, social media, scaling your small business. So I share all that and more on my podcast.
And we can get a hold of you at succeedingsmall.co.
Yep.
Thanks, Madeleine.
Thanks so much.
See ya.